Hi, I'm Alex for Teach Like This. Are you a good reader? I remember being 7 or 8 years old and going through book after book after book of R.L. Stein's Goosebumps. I used to dive right into those books and be attached at the hip to the main character and had to know exactly what was about to happen next. I get excited about reading, but I know that's not the experience for everybody. So in the later years of my education, having to read difficult articles, I already brought to the table a great set of skills. And doing close reading was just an extension of those skills. So how do you teach students that may or may not like to read to be close readers? Well, this video is designed to help. First, let's talk about what close reading is. Close reading is actually just figuring out what the text is saying. High quality text doesn't give up its meaning easily and requires a little bit of work to figure out what it's trying to say. That work is divided up in numerous readings. The first time you read a challenging text, you just want to go for the bare minimum. During this reading, a close reader is only looking for reading comprehension. After this reading, students should be able to answer basic questions like what happened in the story, or what was the article about, what are some key points, what are some key details. During the first reading, I tell my students to read the text slowly and just get a gist of what the text is about. Also, while they read, I expect them to circle words that they don't know and words that they find interesting. After that first reading, this is where we're really starting to get into close reading. In the second reading, students should keep an eye out for language, narrative, syntax, and context. The author's language, or diction, is very important to uncovering the deeper meaning. While reading, what emotions do the author's words make you feel? Are there any words the author repeated or emphasized? Why do you think the author chose those specific words? The second thing to pay attention to is who's telling the story. If you're reading a technical journal, is it an expert in the field? If you're reading a novel, is there a narrator, or is it from the point of view of the main character? Next, pay attention to syntax. Syntax means the order of the words. Do the words start out happy and then change to sad, or vice versa? And finally, context is important. Are you reading a primary source historical document? Chances are that author has a bias. Books don't exist outside of time and space, so chances are what's going on in the author's life is impacting his or her work. Close reading is an intense analysis of a text to figure out what a text says, how it says it, and what it means. Those big picture questions can only be answered by reading the text multiple times and coming up with answers for questions about language, about narrative, about context, and about syntax. Teachers often ask for close reading, should I give a preview of the text? Probably not. You want the kids to discover these things on their own, which is important. Asking their own questions and coming up with their own answers will give them the confidence to do more close reading. What about setting a purpose for reading? That's actually fine, as long as you don't give too much information about the text. Learn how this character deals with uncomfortable social issues, or learn to find the difference between alligators and crocodiles. Does close reading require every text to be reread? For difficult text, absolutely. However, there are texts out there that a single read would suffice. Should I try to activate prior knowledge? Only if you really think it's necessary. If there's some kind of cultural reference that you don't think the students will know, then absolutely activate prior knowledge. However, if there's not, and if the students will get everything by reading, let them read about it. Is it okay to let students talk with other students about what they're reading? Absolutely. The more that they think about it, the more that they talk about it, the more that they interact with the text, the better. However, this is after multiple readings and students doing a lot of individual work. If you like this video, check out a couple of our other ones. As always, you can connect with me on Twitter, by email, or by commenting down below, and subscribe to get weekly strategies in your newsfeed. I'm Alex, and that's Teach Like This.